In the crushing darkness of the ocean's abyss, where pressure exceeds 1,000 atmospheres and sunlight never reaches, a creature emerged that seemed to belong to a different planet. First recorded by a remote-operated vehicle in the Mariana Trench, this organism possessed a gelatinous, translucent body, bioluminescent veins, and a skeletal structure that defied every known rule of vertebrate anatomy. Scientists called it the Xenocetus abyssalis, and its very existence challenged the foundations of evolutionary biology. To understand why this discovery caused such a stir, we must travel back to the early 20th century, when the first deep-sea expeditions revealed that life could thrive without sunlight, relying instead on chemosynthesis. The famous 1928 expedition of the German ship Valdivia, and the later Challenger dives taught us that pressure, cold, and darkness are not barriers but catalysts for evolution. Yet, even then, the notion of a vertebrate with no bone marrow and a liquid-filled spine was unimaginable. When the ROV Nereus descended to a depth of 10,900 meters in 2014, its high-definition cameras captured a silhouette unlike any known fish or cephalopod. The organism hovered, its mantle expanding and contracting like a heart, while clusters of photophores flickered in rhythmic patterns. The footage was sent to the Institute of Marine Science, where molecular biologists immediately began extracting DNA, only to find a genetic code that blended features of both chordates and cnidarians. Genetic analysis revealed a startling mosaic. Mitochondrial genes aligned closely with hagfish, while nuclear DNA contained sequences typical of jellyfish. This hybrid signature suggested an evolutionary bridge that should not exist according to the Linnean system. Some researchers proposed horizontal gene transfer from ancient viruses as a possible explanation, but the sheer complexity of the genome implied a lineage that diverged before the Cambrian explosion, persisting in isolation for hundreds of millions of years. The creature's anatomy further deepened the mystery. Its skeletal framework was composed of a flexible, cartilage-like material infused with silica nanocrystals, granting both rigidity and elasticity. Unlike any known vertebrate, the spine was a series of fluid-filled chambers that acted as hydraulic pistons, allowing the animal to adjust its buoyancy instantaneously. This adaptation is reminiscent of the hydrostatic skeletons seen in earthworms, yet it operates under pressures that would crush most biological tissues. Equally baffling was its metabolic system. In the absence of sunlight, the organism housed symbiotic bacteria that oxidized hydrogen sulfide leaking from hydrothermal vents, converting chemical energy into nutrients. This chemosynthetic partnership is common among tube worms, but the Xenocetus possessed a dedicated organ, an enlarged, pear-shaped ventral pouch, where the bacteria thrived, effectively turning the creature into a living, mobile vent ecosystem. The discovery sparked a heated debate within the scientific community. Evolutionary biologists argued that such a creature could represent a living fossil, a remnant of an ancient branch that survived in the ocean's most isolated refuges. Paleontologists, however, pointed out the lack of fossil evidence for such a lineage, suggesting instead that the organism might be a modern chimera, the product of extreme genetic mutation spurred by the abyssal environment. To resolve the controversy, a multidisciplinary expedition was launched in 2017, bringing together marine biologists, geneticists, and physicists aboard the research vessel Oceanus. Equipped with a new generation of autonomous underwater vehicles capable of sampling at extreme depths, the team aimed to capture live specimens for laboratory study, hoping to observe feeding, reproduction, and behavior in controlled conditions. The mission succeeded in retrieving 3 intact individuals, each encased in a specially designed pressure-maintaining chamber. Back on the surface, the creatures displayed a remarkable ability to communicate through patterns of bioluminescence, emitting pulses that corresponded to changes in water chemistry. This form of light-based signaling suggests a level of social interaction previously undocumented in abyssal fauna. Further observations revealed an unexpected reproductive strategy. Instead of laying eggs, the Xenocetus released bundles of embryonic cells into the surrounding water, where they fused with free-floating bacterial colonies. The resulting symbiotic embryos developed within a gelatinous cocoon, drawing nutrients from both the host and its bacterial partners. This dual reliance model blurs the line between organism and ecosystem, redefining the concept of individuality in biology. The implications of such a life cycle extend beyond taxonomy. If an organism can outsource essential biological functions to external microbes, it challenges the traditional definition of a species as a self-sustaining unit. This perspective aligns with recent theories in holobiont biology, which view hosts and their symbionts as integrated superorganisms, but the Xenocetus pushes the concept to its extreme limits. Beyond scientific intrigue, the existence of the abyssal anomaly raises profound questions about the resilience of life on Earth. In an era of rapidly changing oceans, where temperature rise and acidification threaten shallow water ecosystems, the deep sea may harbor genetic reservoirs capable of adapting to conditions we have yet to imagine. The Xenocetus could be a living blueprint for survival under extreme stress. Yet, the creature also highlights the fragility of these hidden worlds. The same ROV that discovered it earlier has since been lost to a sudden equipment failure, and the vent fields it inhabited are increasingly threatened by deep-sea mining proposals. The potential loss of such a unique lineage underscores the urgency of protecting the ocean's unexplored frontiers before they vanish without ever being fully understood. As the scientific community continues to dissect the Xenocetus genome, new technologies such as CRISPR and synthetic biology offer the tantalizing possibility of recreating its unique proteins for medical applications. The organism's silica-reinforced cartilage, for instance, could inspire next-generation biomaterials for implants that must withstand high pressures, while its light-emitting pathways may lead to breakthroughs in low-energy illumination. The story of the deep-sea creature that shouldn't exist reminds us that Earth still holds secrets far beyond our current comprehension. Each plunge into the abyss not only uncovers new species but also forces us to rewrite the textbooks that define life itself. In the darkness below, the Xenocetus glows as a beacon of mystery, urging humanity to look deeper, think broader, and protect the unknown before it disappears into the pressure of time. Beyond the luminous form of the Xenocetus, another enigma drifts through the same trench, the Silicate Siren, a gelatinous organism that weaves a lattice of biogenic glass around its body. Its transparent filaments refract the faint bioluminescence of nearby fauna, creating a living kaleidoscope that confounds predators and researchers alike. By harvesting silica from dissolved volcanic ash, the Siren builds a protective armor that can withstand pressures exceeding 1,000 atmospheres, offering a glimpse into evolutionary pathways that could inspire future deep-sea engineering. The discovery of these creatures has ignited a race among nations to develop submersible technologies capable of sustained observation. The International Abyssal Initiative, a coalition of oceanographic institutes, recently unveiled the Abyssal Voyager, a hybrid craft that combines biomimetic propulsion with pressure-resistant composites derived from the very organisms it seeks to study. This vessel can linger for weeks at depths previously deemed unreachable, transmitting high-definition footage that reveals the intricate social rituals of abyssal fauna, from coordinated feeding dances to luminous courtship displays. Yet the marvels of the trench are shadowed by a growing threat: deep-sea mining. Companies eye the mineral-rich sediments that blanket the ocean floor, planning to extract rare earth elements essential for renewable technologies. The disturbance could annihilate habitats before we fully comprehend them. Environmental ethicists warn that once the delicate balance of these ecosystems is broken, the cascade of loss may erase genetic blueprints that could hold solutions to climate resilience, medicine, and even space colonization. In response, indigenous coastal communities, whose cultures have long revered the ocean's mysteries, are joining scientists at the negotiation table. Their oral histories speak of the living night, a time when the sea's depths pulse with unseen life. By integrating traditional knowledge with cutting-edge research, a new stewardship model emerges, one that prioritizes preservation over profit and recognizes the abyss as a shared heritage of humanity, deserving of protection for generations yet unborn.